All right, today we are diving deep into Neil Gaiman's absolutely incredible modern epic, American Gods. Seriously, this is a book about a secret war, a war for the very soul of a nation. Let's get into it.
So the whole book starts with this really cool idea. It just asks this one simple question. What if all those gods you read about in mythology class, the Norse gods, the Egyptian gods, African deities, what if they were all totally real?
And not only that, what if they were right here, living in America? Yeah, brought over generations ago by the immigrants who worship them. But now, now they're forgotten, down on their luck, just trying to get by in the modern world. That hidden reality, that's where our story begins.
A world beneath the surface. So to even begin to understand this secret world, we've got to meet the guy who accidentally falls right into the middle of the whole thing. And that guy is our protagonist, Shadow Moon. Now, Shadow is just about to finish a 3-year prison sentence. And he's got one thing, just one thing, keeping him going. He cannot wait to get back to his wife, Laura. But then, right before he gets out, the absolute worst happens. He finds out Laura died in a car accident. His whole world just evaporates. He's a free man, but he's got nothing to go back to. He's just numb.
So he's on a flight, heading to the funeral, just completely lost. And that's when he has this chance encounter with this very charming, but also very, very strange older man. He says his name is Mr. Wednesday. And trust me, this one meeting is what kicks off everything.
And Wednesday is pushy. He offers Shadow a job right then and there. Bodyguard, driver, you name it. The really weird part, though, Wednesday seems to know things about Shadow. Impossible things. Stuff about his past, even what he's thinking. Shadow's got no other options, so he says yes. Reluctantly.
Old gods versus new gods. And just like that, by taking this one weird job, Shadow gets yanked right into this massive hidden conflict. A battle brewing just under the surface of America between two very, very different types of gods.
So, on one side, you've got the old gods. Think of all the classic figures from mythology. You've got your Odin, your Anubis, Chornabog. All these guys came to America centuries ago, carried in the hearts and minds of immigrants. But here's the catch. For a god, belief is like oxygen. And in our modern world, nobody believes in them anymore. So they're weak, they're fading, they're barely hanging on.
And who are they fighting? Well, the new gods. And these are not your grandpa's deities. They're not gods of the sun or the harvest. No. They're gods of our modern obsessions, the media, technology, globalization. And man, are they powerful. They're arrogant, they're thriving, and why wouldn't they be? We worship them every single day with our screens, our clicks, our attention.
And here you can see the matchup, plain as day. On the left, the old-timers, Odin, Anubis, these ancient figures. And on the right, the new kids on the block, media, the technical boy, Mr. World. This isn't just some divine squabble. It's a full-on war between ancient tradition and our modern distractions. So this is Wednesday's whole deal. This is his mission. He's crisscrossing the country trying to get this scattered, bickering group of old gods together for one last fight. A desperate, all-or-nothing war against the new gods. And for them, it's not about winning glory. It's literally about just surviving.
Shadow's American journey. So now that he works for Wednesday, Shadow finds himself on this totally surreal road trip. They're driving through the forgotten back roads of America, and it's a journey that's going to completely change how he sees the country and himself.
And along the way, Shadow starts to see things. He realizes that the old ways, they aren't totally gone. He finds these little pockets, these forgotten corners of the country where belief and strange rituals are still alive and kicking. Turns out, America is way, way weirder than he ever thought. And then, bam, the first huge twist drops. That charming, scheming, con man boss of his, Mr. Wednesday, he's Odin. Yeah, the Odin, the Allfather from Norse mythology. The guy leading the charge for the old gods was hiding right there in plain sight the entire time.
Okay, so if Wednesday is Odin, that leads to a pretty big question, right? What about Shadow? Who is he in all of this? Why him?
Well, here's the other shoe dropping. Shadow is not just some random guy who got swept up in this. He's not even fully human. He's a demigod. Odin is his father. And that reveal just changes everything. Suddenly, he's not on the sidelines anymore. He's right at the heart of this whole divine war.
The Great Divine Khan. Okay, so the battle lines are drawn, the stakes couldn't be higher, but just when you think you know what's going on, the book hits you with the biggest twist of all. This war, it's not what you think it is.
So, right before the big final showdown, Wednesday is killed, assassinated in a really big public way, and it looks like the new gods did it. It's the perfect martyr moment, right?
The ultimate sacrifice, designed to get all the old gods fired up for revenge. But it's not. After his own crazy journey through the land of the dead, Shadow figures out the truth. And it's a bombshell. There was never going to be a war. The whole thing was a setup. A giant, two-sided con.
So how did the hustle work? It was actually pretty genius, in a twisted way. Step 1, you cook up a fake war. Step 2, you stage a big dramatic sacrifice, Wednesday's death, to make everyone panic. That stokes up all this belief and fear from both sides. And then, step 4, you, the masterminds, just sit back and soak up all that power, all that worship. It's a perfect scam to feed the guys at the top.
So who was Odin's partner in crime? Get this, it was the leader of the new gods, Mr. World. But Mr. World was just an alias for another old god, Loki, the trickster god from Norse mythology and Odin's blood brother. The guys leading the two opposing armies, they were in it together the whole time.
What do we worship? So with the big con totally exposed, the story shifts to its real point, asking this huge question about what belief even is.
And this quote right here, it just nails the whole theme of the book. The idea that America isn't just a place, it's an idea. A strange, unfinished idea that's built from the ground up on belief.
And this is the real takeaway. The moment Shadow tells everyone the truth, the war just fizzles out. It stops. Why? Because it turns out the gods, old and new, have no real power on their own. Their entire existence, their strength, it all comes from us, from human belief. We're the powerful ones, because we're the ones who choose what and who to worship.
And that's where the book leaves us. It turns the whole question right back on you, the reader. In a world jam-packed with distractions, new tech, and old ideas all fighting for your attention, it asks you a really simple but really important question. What do you choose to worship? What gets your time, your focus, your belief? What are your gods?